maps and stars to be in your arms. Crawl across ledges, dodge falling rocks, 'cause there's nothing that's impossible when you're in my arms. There's nothing that's impossible when you're in my arms. And I move through the burning desert under the spotlight of the sun, with the only thing shielding me is your love. 'Cause there's nothing that's impossible when you're in my heart.
First time I met Holly was probably 3 years ago. We met Holly, and to be honest with you, I met Holly and, oh, this is Kenny's daughter. Oh, wait a minute, I don't care about Kenny. This is Holly. I want to get to meet Holly and get to know her, and just saw her and you know, saw her develop and saw her a lot of natural skills in Holly, you know, a lot of natural talent and things that I said to myself, if that could be focused, I mean, we could have a very good hockey player here. And over the time that I've got to know her, I've seen these things develop more and more. The things she does better, the natural instincts of the game, her sense, her knowledge, it's been awesome just watching her develop over the last 3 years. Oh, Holly is to me, if I could have 16 Hollies every year, I would do it. Everything I asked Holly to do, she did. Yeah. Okay, if I asked her to play left wing, white wing, I asked her to play up the middle, asked her to play defense, whatever I asked her to do, she did. She was one of those players you love to coach, and she did it well. You know, and if she didn't do it well, she went back and tried it again and worked at it until she got it right. You know, which was really, really enjoyable. You know, one of the things I enjoyed about Holly was we got into the playoffs, and this year we had a pretty good team. We won the league, we won the state. We lost in the semifinals of the regionals in a 1-goal game. Girls played very well, and as the playoffs progress, you know, you see the cream of the crop start to come. And by the end of the playoffs, Holly was in my top group of players. If something needed to be done, Holly did it, whether it was penalty killing, which to me is her top skill, or just playing even strength or on the power play. You know, Holly did whatever I needed her to do. The thing that I really enjoyed on the penalty kill especially was that she never gave up. She worked hard, forechecked, and if she got beat, she wasn't beat for more than half a dozen strides. She was back in the play and came back up and you got right back in and was that little nuisance on that offensive player and made life difficult for that offensive player, which is all I asked her to do, is, you know, do those little things. Personally, as a coach, I have a goal every year to put 2 girls in college, if I have the players to do that. And looking forward to this coming season, Holly's one of those players that's on my list that my goal is to help her do whatever I can to get her to play at the next level, because she has the skill. She has the attitude, the skill, and the tools to play at the collegiate level. And I will do whatever I can, like I've done over the past 10 or 12 years, to help her get to that level of play, because she has those tools.
Yeah, I was formerly the women's coach at Southern Hampshire University, and I started the program there. And I left this past season, and we were in the championship game for the last 3 years, and I started the program there. And we were in top 10 in the country after 3 years running, and I've been heavily involved in the youth programs in the state and officiating as well. And I now run the lacrosse program at Seacoast United. Oh, it's definitely growing. A lot of growth to the sport, and every year there's more colleges adding it, as well as high schools and youth programs. It's constantly growing, yes. Kids come first, their well-being, fun, and then game. Very first thing that comes to mind is she just doesn't quit. She's just very tenacious, and I love it. And the second thing, she's just very coachable, and that's incredibly important, because you can't get a kid to work in the system, you can't use them. So she's very coachable and great attitude, always brings a great attitude and work ethic. And then athletically, very athletic, great speed, good game sense.
In the future, going to a good school and, you know, would work well in the program?
Absolutely, I think she'd be a great asset to any of the top D2 or D3 programs in the country. Absolutely.
A father, to separate Holly as your daughter when you're watching her play hockey?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's constructive criticism or whatever. It's, you know, in a way, maybe it's harder, but I really haven't. I don't say much, really. Don't need to say much, you know. But little bits here and there. So she didn't start till later, and I think she was 13 probably when her first year playing, and she ended up going to Berwick, and we could never get her to play hockey, my son and I, and she was always around the rinks, and all of a sudden one day she came home and said, I'm going to play hockey. So at that point, you know, she was playing and it was kind of for fun, and she kept accelerating in her abilities, and so she kind of got it. So there wasn't a lot to say. She had a good attitude and was determined and was having fun, you know, really always smiling when she was playing. Even if she was knocking somebody down, she'd be smiling. The connection between playing hockey and lacrosse pretty similar in the, you know, the eye-hand movement, and she's got good physical skills. She's fast and aggressive. Yeah, she's pretty personable, pretty grounded, you know, doesn't get overly emotional and has fun. So it's, you know, it's good. She listens, and she doesn't have, you know, a set where she has to play a certain position, which is unusual for any athlete, I think. So that's a good quality she has for sure.
How long have you been playing hockey?
4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of gravitated towards hockey because of your brother and your dad playing hockey. You kind of grew up in a hockey environment.
Yeah, I actually didn't like hockey until I started playing it myself because I was so sick of going to rinks and stuff and not actually playing the sport.
Yeah. So what was it that clicked with you that made that, you know, you turned that corner and started, I want to do this?
It's because I just started playing at school like a lot of my friends were going to play, and so I just started playing too. It was at like the middle school level, so it wasn't that serious. So it was just like going out and having fun. It started out with defense and when I was younger, and then I got moved to wing.
Yeah.
And then for school I play center. So I kind of just play like anywhere in the offense. On the playoffs, everybody steps it up. They like, it's their top game. And you got to focus really well because like sometimes people lose their focus and you lose your spot in the playoffs.
Because of your father's, you know, hockey background, is there pressure on you to perform to some other kind of level that you feel that is like, do you feel any kind of pressure that way?
Well, he's not really pressuring me, but I pressure myself because like, I don't know, I try harder when he's watching because I don't want him to be like, so you didn't feel like working hard this time, huh? Like,
is that an easy transition for you to go from hockey to lacrosse?
I think the transition would be easier if I was a guy because it's like more similar in that sense, but for girls I don't really think it is. Like all sports, you can relate them in some way, and so they have that similarity, but I don't really think so.
It seemed to me that you had this incredible like burst of speed on the lacrosse field that was just like, I wonder if that's something that came from hockey, or is it just something you have a natural gift to run fast?
I just like to run fast. I don't think it has anything to do with hockey. I'd like to continue playing hockey, and I'd like to continue playing lacrosse. I want to be an anthropologist and like study history. Like, I love history, so anything history in college.
Professor Holly Linseman.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Maybe I'll teach anthropology at college.